Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Shattered Silence, Stories of Recovery and Resilience. My name is Jori, and today we have our special guest, Stephanie Grimsley. I do want to add a trigger warning. We are going to be talking about some postpartum depression, so just be mindful when listening. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Jori.
Thank you for being
I'm
here.
so excited to be here.
Yeah, so we'll just get into it.
Okay.
Just talking about postpartum depression. I guess just motherhood to begin with. What were your expectations of motherhood in the beginning?
That is actually a great question because I thought it was going to be wonderful. Not that it isn't wonderful, but getting pregnant, I felt wonderful. I knew you'd be tired. I knew that was what everyone said. You're going to be so tired, but it goes by quick. So soak it all in. And pregnancy, I wasn't sick. It was great. I was just trying to get myself ready for the lack of sleep.
Yeah.
And then there was a lot more to it, just lack of sleep.
Yeah. So I feel like even for me, before becoming a mom, it's you hear about postpartum, but you don't really I don't know, you don't dive deep into it either.
No.
So did you ever think anything about postpartum?
No, I knew about baby blues. So everyone would say, okay, you're going to cry. You don't know why. You're just going to cry, have tissues around, but you'll be fine within 2 weeks. You'll be good.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay. I'm not a crier anyway. So I'm like, okay, that'll be new, but I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But that didn't, it just kept turning. So in my mind, I was like, okay, it's going to go away, but it never did.
Yeah.
And I feel like once I had her, I literally was like, all of these mothers are liars.
Yeah.
I felt like there was a curtain, and then I had her, and it was opened, and then more truth came out. I'm like, wait, where were you?
Yeah.
I just talked to you a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Where were you then?
Yeah.
And it just was a whole other side that I feel like I was relearning from. It was, I guess I could say, crushed expectations. Like that, this is the dream I had, and then reality hit. I was like, that was all a lie.
Yeah.
Now you need to restart, I guess.
So I guess elaborate on that a little bit more. So are you talking about just right after having your baby, you were just kind of almost confused almost? How explain your feelings a little bit more.
Absolutely. So I feel like I've been through a broad spectrum. I feel like I felt every piece of, I don't want to say what every mother's felt, but I was so excited to have her. I couldn't wait. And then I hemorrhaged giving birth. It was a very hard labor.
Yeah.
So I would push for 3 hours. Well, I was there for 2 days. And then when I finally started pushing, they're like, we got to get her out. So they vacuumed her out. But I think the scary part was again, expectations. I'm in the room. They're like, all right, you're going to start pushing. I'm like, here? Where's everyone coming? Where is everyone? And the nurse is saying, it's just us, me, your husband. I'm like, okay. And then the chaos came. And then it went from, I had my Christian music up. It went from about 2 hours of pushing to then the doctor really being like, okay, we're running out of time. And then the 3 hour came in. And so he came in, the rush of the nurses, the rush of other doctors. There was 2 doctors working on me. And they said, okay, we need to vacuum out, emergency C-section. What do you want to do? I'll give you time to think. And they literally waited about 10 seconds. He's like, give me your answer. And I looked at Chad. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And he's like, vacuum. So then they got her out. Thank God. They held her up. And so I initially felt that feeling of, oh, my baby. That's what I look forward to, is the moment I had in my head since I was a little girl when they placed the baby on your chest. That meant a lot to me, and that's what I really looked forward to. So they held her up, and then all of a sudden they took her away, and then a nurse grabbed Chad and took him away, and I started shaking uncontrollably. Nah, no one told me that either. Yeah. I'm like, what's going on? And no one was talking to me because I didn't know I was bleeding, so they were ignoring me. I'm like, why am I shaking? Why am I shaking? Where's Bailey? And then when I saw her, I was like, okay, I kind of see her in the distance. I'm okay. They said, your baby's fine. You're just bleeding more than usual. I'm like, okay. So then I look down and the doctors are like covered in blood. You know, there's a lot of blood going on all over. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
I look at Chad and he is like not even paying attention to Bailey. She's in the corner. And I'm like, he was so excited to be a dad. He's not even looking at her. And I look at him and changes his face, but a little too late. So I knew it was a little more serious. And I sat there looking at the clock, and it was a full hour that they were just working on me. And they finally got it to stop, thank goodness. And then the nurse just comes over with her, like right after they're still working on me. She goes, "Are you ready to meet your baby?" And in my head, I was like, wanted to cry. I want to say, no, I want to go home. I want to like lay in bed with Chad. No, I don't.
Yeah.
And so it felt like a switch too quick. And of course, I always say that was my first lie, because I look at her and I go, yeah, I'm ready. And I really wasn't. They put her on my chest and I didn't feel that initial bond that everyone says. It was more of, I knew I loved her. So that gave me some sense, because I know there are people who think that are so far beyond. You know, I've talked to a lot of people now going through this, and the spectrum's huge. And I did not feel that bond. I wanted her to latch. The latching wasn't working. They're like, she hasn't ate. It's been, an hour since she came out. She needs stuff. They're telling me, does it hurt? And I'm like, no, it feels fine, but it hurt like a lot. Like, this is painful. So I lied about that again, another lie, and got her latched on. So I think I'm just rambling. I forgot your first question.
No, you're fine.
So the bond was the first initial shattering of my expectations, because I didn't think that was in question. Like, how could you not feel connected to this living being that grew inside of you, that came out, that you've been dreaming about your whole life? So that was my first, like, oh boy, this is not going to go the way I thought it was going to go. So
Well, I'm sure, like, with the chaos of how, like, you delivered to, and then you're just like, wait, I'm just confused. Like, you go through so many emotions, and it's like, being a first-time mom, you don't, like, people tell you what to expect. And you don't
but they
really know what to expect until you're in it, And so, that's got to be hard.
Well, and I also think, I really thought about, a lot of therapy. I'm sure we'll get there. But how moms don't tell you. And I really feel like there's a huge stigma of, like, how can you go to a new mom that has, like, this bright expectation that it's going to be amazing, and tell them, oh, by the way, you might not be bonded to your baby, or you might not want to hold your baby, or you might, all these, like, horrible things that could happen. I, felt bad for all my friends where I wasn't there for them for their first baby. But then I'm also like, I think we hope it doesn't happen to the next person. Thinking like it only happened to me because no one talks about it. So. And
it's like, and you don't want to like be like, hey, congrats.
Kill their dreams.
But, it's like, so I feel like that's a big reason why I'm sure women don't talk about it, is because, like, I don't want them to have that fear in their head before it even happens, or maybe add that in their head when they might not even be thinking that way, So, yeah, I mean, I know several people that have gone through postpartum, and I know it's, like you said, it's on a different spectrum. Like,
oh my gosh.
So still talk a little bit more like in the hospital, so
absolutely.
You kind of like realize that this connection might not have been what you expected. And so what did it look like the rest of your hospital time there, like before you went home?
I think I, again, was not myself. So I knew something felt off, but I told myself, oh, it's baby blues. I'm okay. I did have, because you do have a hormone that releases where you do get this joy. So I was having this joy, but it was like my feelings were not matching what was going on in my head. So it was again very confusing, but I tried not to think about it too much. I'm like, you just went through a lot. So another dream I had was breastfeeding. Like one of my best friends, I watched her breastfeed. Call me weird, but I just thought it was so beautiful. No. She was like my sister. And I'm like, I can't wait to do that. So that was another reality that was completely shattered, that I was looking forward to, that wasn't working. So they couldn't get a lactation consultant in until about 3 a.m. And by that time I was already like bleeding. I already had bruises on me and it was so painful, but I felt if I don't feed her like this, I'm not a good mom. Like, this is my job. This is why God created us to have feed our babies. So
yeah.
I had that stuck in my head. I know it wasn't rational, but I really wasn't rational at that time.
Right.
So we stayed for, I think we were there for 2 days following.
Okay.
Chad was so antsy to get out. He didn't know what was going on, but I wanted to stay. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't want to leave. And like the whole thing, I guess I was filled with gauze. That was interesting. That was very interesting.
Yeah.
The whole fevers, just again, motherhood in general.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you can get fever. So the night after having her, I had full blown fever, and the nurse was like, "You're fine." And I'm like, "Why is everyone acting like this is okay?"
Yeah.
Like I was just shaking, thought I was gonna die, and now I'm hot, cold, but I can't move. I have all these stitches, but it's
and
okay.
No
You're fine.
Everyone's just brushing it off, saying I'm fine. And you're like, I am not fine.
Yes, exactly. I'm like,
Someone,
I don't feel fine.
Please help me. But it's like sometimes I'm sure you don't know how to express that at the time either.
Oh yeah, because again, I thought I was only one. So from the get go, how everyone was acting, I'm like, this must be so unique to me. But then they finally said, okay, you can leave. And I pretended to be happy. I was like, yay, babe. And he was so ready. And then the anxiety hit. So we get in the car. Even though I didn't feel like that initial bond that I was really, really praying for, I was freaked out. I had to sit in the back. Chad and I were kind of getting at each other's throat. He was being very patient. And he finally had to tell me to stop because, I'm like, you're going too fast. Like the snappy. You need to slow down. Like, it was pouring rain. And then I remember just looking at her like, she's not breathing. Yes, she's breathing. No, she's not. Oh my gosh, what if I just killed her? So that started right away. And we drive down our neighborhood, and I kind of felt calm. I'm like, okay. And then my mom opened the back door, and then I just initially started crying because my parents were already there. So they opened it up, and so we're just sobbing. She doesn't know why I'm sobbing.
It's just like one of those things, like I get what you're saying too. It's like you almost are like holding your emotions in, and then you see mom and you're just like, okay, I can let it out.
Exactly.
Yes. I know you're not going to ask me questions yet. Just hug me. I just need your love right now.
That's absolutely how it was. And then what was so funny, I needed it so much. Chad had to handle a lot because my tear was, very sick. Like, it was deep. They were stitching inside me. I had a lot. So I didn't move too well. Right. So he got her dressed in the outfit to go home, and he's never, ever dressed a baby. So the zipper, it was a onesie, Brave Little Ones. We love that store, was zipped up her back.
Oh, my God.
He literally flipped her. I don't know how he did it. I didn't watch him do it, but literally the onesie zip was up her back.
Oh, my God.
My mom and I are like laughing so hard as we're sobbing. And I'm like, Chad, how could you do that? He goes, that makes a lot of sense because it was really hard. I was thinking, how do they do this every day?
Oh, my God.
But yeah, so that brought some comical relief a little bit. And it was a tough going home.
Yeah. So then I'm sure that's a whole different thing too. It's a whole different world going home, being new parents, and
oh my gosh,
adjusting to home life after that.
Yeah, and we had a lot of his dad was already there, which I don't remember, but we had his dad there. Then his mom eventually came. She lives up north, and she came to help, and his grandparents. Like, we had a lot of people there for support because they always say takes a village.
Yeah.
But I wasn't ready for that village. I was just talking to a friend before this as far as guilt. I was just telling her, like, oh, let me take your baby. I'll take your babies whenever. Like, I'll watch your babies. Like, I feel great now. And she's like, I have this guilt of, I feel like I'm putting my responsibility onto others. And then that instantly, I was like that too. Yeah. I had so many people like, go sleep. And I was like, no, I'm great. Yeah. I'm fine. No. And I never did. That is
so common.
Never took advantage. Yeah. And I felt like she's my responsibility, not yours. So if I do that, bad mom. Yeah. Bad mom was going through my head, like almost constantly. And
yeah, I mean, especially like a working mom too, like going back to work. I remember after having Brooks and having to go back to work, it's like, okay, I'm going to go to work, but I'm only going to go to work for this amount of time. And then right when I'm done with work, I'm going to go right back home.
Yes.
Because I felt so bad to like leave him,
Yes.
even though it's like, this is what I got to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to make a living too, you know, and it's like moms do it every day, you know, and they go to work and they come back, but it's like, you don't talk about how guilty you feel leaving your child, even though you know it needs to be done.
And 99.9% of the time, he was probably having so much fun with whoever he was with. And then 100%. He probably was like, why are you here? Like, yeah, when I'm having fun.
Up, like, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
yeah.
Okay, so I panicked all day. So I need to get back to you, and you're having the time of your life.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a common thing. I feel like that's just like a motherly instinct too. Like, okay, I have to be the one that has my babies. And yeah, I've always felt that way too.
And releasing that trust onto others. Like you think, well, actually, okay, I guess I can be a little more real. I felt guilt putting him off, but I also felt like I already knew I didn't feel normal. So I also had another little voice in my head saying, what would a normal mom think right now? Like, I didn't want Chad and I didn't want my parents to know that I had something going on because I didn't know what was going on. So I thought, okay, a new mom, would they happily pass over their baby? Probably not. You know, so I was playing this other role of like what people would think of me, even my closest.
It's like you have this other voice in your head, like, okay, no.
Yeah, that's probably not normal. That might put up flags if I am so happily like, sure, go take her. I'm going to go nap for 12 hours. I'm like, that's probably not good. So that was another, I guess, sign that something was off in me. So I definitely did not, like I said, I didn't take advantage. And I should have. I didn't sleep. I didn't. I wanted to feed her. I wanted to breastfeed. So as you know, as every mom knows, they tell you every 2 hours. And so that's what I would do. I wouldn't eat. I would choose to try to sleep. And then every 2 hours, Chad would be like, or whoever would try to wake me up. And that just took a toll on me. Some people can do it. I wasn't cut out for it.
No, it's a lot. It really is a lot. And I feel like that's something that people need to know too, is that it's okay. Like, I know a lot of mothers want to breastfeed. Some mothers actually don't want to breastfeed.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
I love that.
And everyone's has their own way that they want to do things, but I also don't feel like anyone should feel like it has to be that way and that you should feel shame if you can't, or even if you choose not to. You can choose not to.
And it is okay. And that's, I was leaning towards it. And again, I don't want to put blame on anyone, but I was in such a fragile mindset, very fragile. And we went to the doctor and I needed another lactation consultant, right? I needed more help. It was so painful. Like I would cry every minute and then that sting would go away. And the lactation consultant, the doctors were not like, fed baby, happy baby. That's not how they were talking. It was more of, well, if you need to not do it, then I understand. But what's best for the baby is, it was kind of that conversation. And again, my mind was already messed up talking to Chad. He's like, see, they said it was good. They said you can stop. I'm like, did you hear the same thing I said? And he's like, yeah, they said if it's not working, then it's fine. I'm like, well, that's not how it was put across in my mind. What I heard was you're feeling what's best for your baby is to breastfeed. So you're being selfish by not breastfeeding. So we were, in two different worlds the whole time. But that's what I heard. And I told her, I go, no, I remember being like, no, I want to breastfeed. Like, this is what I want to do. I don't want to stop, even though I fully was going in there to ask questions of how can I stop this? And I just lied again. That's my common theme in this whole story was lying.
But I feel like it's not, I wouldn't say lying. Though, it's like you were also confused yourself.
That's true.
So it's not like you're trying to lie. You just, you thought that it needed to be one way and no one was reassuring you that you didn't have to do that,
I
and so
really
then,
didn't.
you feel guilty. But it's like, I think that it's so important. So any healthcare providers, are like, just be gentle. Like, I don't know.
Be so gentle, and makes me think of the survey that you take, like, how are you feeling? And in my head again, I'm like, well, I don't want to lose her. I don't want her to be taken away. So what would a normal mom with baby blues be feeling? You know, at that time, I was still actually like, maybe it is baby blues, because I had never really heard of postpartum depression, honestly.
Yeah.
So I would do, okay, this question, are you wanting to harm yourself? Absolutely not. Like, are you enjoying things that you used to? I'm like, well, I just had a baby. Everyone else probably would not say yes, absolutely. So sometimes, you know, and that's how I took it. I didn't want any red flags to happen. And later on, I met, you know, a friend through this journey where she was honest. She went to them for help, and they took her baby and committed her. Yeah. So one of my girlfriends that I've met along this journey, her story was, she was honest. She's like, this is not right. I need to go get help. And they were trying to take her baby away. And her husband was there. I don't remember specifically, but they were fully trying to take the baby away, even though she had other family members. And it was just a very scary situation.
Yeah.
They tried committing her more like involuntary in a way. She went for help. She didn't want to get committed, and they were pushing it.
Yeah.
And so that scared, well, now looking back, I'm like, that was probably the inner me of why, you know, I didn't want that.
Yeah. You're
to
like,
happen.
I don't want that to happen to me. Aspire Counseling Services provides caring, personalized support for adults and teens facing mental health challenges. From group therapy to mindfulness, art, and even pet therapy, their programs are designed to help people feel better and build healthier habits. Teens can get the support they need while still keeping up with school and home life. You can reach Aspire at 888-585-7373. Like, you knew that something was kind of different, baby blues, you know, but what made you like really know that you were kind of going through some sort of depression?
So, boy, that is, I call it my rock bottom. It was actually Friday the 13th of May, 2022. I knew I was having some type of depression leading up to it, because I knew I was faking a lot. So leading up to May 13th, Mother's Day, I think, was a huge, something's not right. I woke up that morning like, great, I'm gonna have to put a huge smile on my face and act like I'm so happy because it's my first Mother's Day and everyone's gonna be texting me. How do I respond that's not over the top but not red flags, you know? So I, you know, woke up and I did not want to get ready, but I'm like, what mom doesn't want to get ready? So I got ready. Went over to my parents. Of course, they opened the door, like, Happy Mother's Day. I'm like, hi. And my mom got Bailey and I matching shirts. So we're in our matching shirts. And I think just that whole day was very exhausting, because it was all the text and wanting to respond and making sure I did respond, or that'd be weird. And I think just looking at her, and that was also my first glimmer of hope, because I was holding her and it looked like she was smiling at me. I knew at that time she couldn't, like, babies don't physically smile, but she did. And I started to cry, because I was like, oh my God, she's smiling at me. Like, does she love me? Like, you know, and just that thought in my head was, that's weird. This is a newborn. Why would I think, like, does this baby love me? Why? So I started crying, and I instantly knew, okay, we're well over 2 weeks here. I can't be crying, because you know, so then again, my mind is just not shutting off at all. So, you know, I stand up, take the happy, smiley pictures. Everyone, we need pictures. I need pictures with you, with you, with you. And then I just went home and felt like depleted. I actually went outside. Chad took this picture, and it was more of a joke because we were both so tired. So it was also, we would try to laugh about like that pain of exhaustion. Yeah. And I just was sitting out there, and I'm like this slumped over, and I'm just staring down at the ground, but that's like how I was done. I felt it. But then he took a picture, like, haha, and I freaked out at first. I'm like, oh my gosh, what if he kind of knows? And I'm like, oh my God, I know, I'm so tired. And, you know, turning it back on. And that was exhausting. And, you know, just talking, I do remember other things. I went to lunch with a couple of my best friends who, like, are my best friends. We tell each other literally everything, you know, Kelly. And then Kristen, I lived with her for years. We're so close. And I remember asking, like, little questions and, oh, how did you feel? Were you ever sad past the 2 weeks? And No. And Kelly, I knew she had some anxiety, and we were talking about it, and I was trying to ease into some questions. And I remember, I'm like, how do you feel about if you remember about your baby, how did you feel? And she's like, oh my gosh, just absolutely in love. And then I'm thinking, okay, I'm not normal. Like, you know, and so I didn't tell them. I just was like, I know, I'm so obsessed too. I just love her so much. And I do love her, but there was something else that wasn't right.
Yeah.
So that was another red flag where I'm like, okay, I'm by myself. No one else feels this way. I'm not going to tell anyone. If I can't tell Chad, I feel like I can't tell my parents. I can't tell my best friends. Like, I'm the only one that's feeling this way. There's something wrong with me. So those two were huge. And then May 13th came, and I know a lot of moms also feel this way, is nighttime. That doom and gloom, I would get the worst anxiety. I never experienced anxiety. I am prone to depression. I've had depression in the past. I wasn't on medicine like during pregnancy or with having her after she was born, which would probably have helped me. But anxiety was something new. Like,
Okay.
that whole feeling, now I get it. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's, God bless everyone dealing with that.
Yeah.
Depression,
Yeah.
I'm used to. Numb me, sure, I'll stare through a wall. Like, I mean, I know it's not funny, but
Yeah.
like, the feeling of anxiety is different. And I was starting to feel that every time the sun would slowly start to come down, I was like, felt like I couldn't breathe. Like, I thought, I felt like, oh, I'm going to die. I don't know how I'm going to make it tonight. But I put a smile on because then eventually Chad had to go to work. And I'm like, I'm fine. No, go sleep. You need sleep. And I would just sit and cry all night holding her. Like, literally just cry.
Yeah.
And then one night, so it was May 12th, right before we went to bed, Bailey also had colic. So she would not stop crying, like, ever. And people tried to have us try this, try that. Nothing worked. This kid would not stop crying. And I remember Bailey was sitting on his lap, and he was bouncing her, trying to get her to sleep, and she finally fell asleep, like, hung over like this. And I slowly stopped masking. So I think Chad knew at this point something was happening. And I was staring at a wall, just staring straight through it. And he finally got my attention, and he was crying. And I've never seen him cry ever. He's only cried, he's told me, twice in his entire life. And I stood up, and he's like, are you wanting to kill yourself? Like, oh no, he said, that was my dad. That's another story. He said, don't hurt yourself. Are you wanting to hurt yourself? And I was like, no, what? No. And he's holding her, so he couldn't. So I'm wiping his tears. I'm hugging him. And I'm like, no. He's like, you need to promise me. Like, I can't live without you. Like, you can't. And at this point, I was suicidal. And in my head, I thought, if I wasn't here, Bailey would have a better mom, and Chad could find a better wife. Because I felt like I couldn't make the dinners. I couldn't do all these motherly things or this wife role I'm failing in. Bailey, I'm not even feel connected to her. She could find someone to love her the way she deserves. So, I mean, I lied to him. I'm like, no, I would never do that. Like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Do not worry. Like, I'm fine. Like, let me take her. And again, I'm trying to, like, muster up all the fakeness because I don't want him to think that I am feeling any dark thoughts. And so I did. And he's like, okay, are you sure? I'm like, go to bed. Like, you're so silly. Like, don't worry. So he went to bed. And that night I just could not fall asleep. At this point, I wasn't sleeping. Every time I tried to fall asleep, when my body would relax, I would go in like fight or flight mode. And I would, it would be the anxiety where you're like about to throw up because your insides just feel like they're so turned. And that's what was happening. So it was more of a, fall to the ground, just sobbing like God, I cannot do this. What is going on?
Yeah.
I can't handle this. And I laid her down because she had to be held. So she slept, like I didn't sleep when it was my turn to have her. I was holding her. And I could not fall asleep in a chair because then I was picturing her plunging to her death. So
yeah, these intrusive thoughts and like I feel like part of like this is like you're so confused yourself because you can't even pinpoint your own feelings at this point. So how do you express it to someone else?
Yeah.
When you don't even know how you're feeling, you know?
Exactly. And it's not like I sat there and thought, oh no, I guess I did. Because I did look previously for some items in the house that were already gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I found that like relieving in a way. Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my gosh, like more scary. Like what if it was there? You know, I think Chad had
Mm-hmm.
already cleared the house.
Okay.
So I think he did have an inkling, but it was more precautionary. I think he didn't want to
Mm-hmm.
believe it because I'm such a happy-go-lucky person.
Yeah.
Like pretty much 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a side he's never seen of
Mm-hmm.
me, and I haven't seen of myself.
Mm-hmm.
But that night was I was like just defeated,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought like I am gonna do something. Like
Mm-hmm.
I need it out of my body kind of
Yeah.
feeling, and I woke up, or no, Chad's alarm went off because he had to go to work at like 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was always pushing him to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And I went into his room because I made him sleep in a different room
Mm-hmm.
because I thought, no, you need sleep. Bailey cries all night. She'll wake you up. So we
Mm-hmm.
weren't even sleeping in the same room. My anxiety would
Mm-hmm.
not let us
Yeah.
be together.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to go to my parents. He's like, are you sure? Like, can you drive? I'm like, oh my God, yes. I'm going to go to my parents. And I just break down in the shower. And then my dad comes in. Oh, that sounded wrong. Shower, get out of the shower,
Yes.
go in my old bedroom, dressed, sobbing in my room. And my dad comes up and he just straight out asked me, he's like, are you wanting to kill yourself? And I just sob uncontrollably. So then he knew at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was where the wall finally came down.
Mm-hmm.
There was no more pretending. And then I went into a state of like dissociation, I guess. So this whole ride was, like faking to anxiety to not sleeping to straight up no motion. I would have like horrible sob crying where I am like disgusting, snot, spit, nastiness everywhere. Like, oh my gosh. Like,
We've all been there.
Yes. And then I'd be like, just nothing, just straight staring into a wall. It was back and forth, which was so exhausting.
Yeah.
My mom called Chad, and he raced home from work, and I was like, I need medicine, I need to sleep. So then we, went through the doctors, everything. And so this point just turned into, okay, we really need to make sure there's nothing sharp in the house. But they did this behind closed doors, which was more of, I knew they were babying me, but I didn't even care. They would go behind closed doors, talk, or call each other, leave the room. And at this point, they're my suicide watch people, and someone was with me 24/7. And I remember driving to the doctor the second time. This is the same day. The first sleep medicine didn't work. It was not knocking me out. Like, I could not fall asleep. So I'm sobbing. He's like, let's go back. Let's call. We go back to get more, and then dissociation. I'm just staring out the window. And I literally just nonchalant, I was like, take me to the hospital. I want to go to the hospital. He's like, no, I could take care of you better than anyone in the hospital. You're not going there. And I really wanted to, but my family, they're like, no, we're taking care of you kind of situation. So Bailey went to my parents. My parents took her for a few weeks, and that was, at that point, more guilt.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I can't
I'm sure
watch
that
her.
was so hard. Yeah, but it's like at the same time, your family saw that you needed to get your mind right, and they were going to be there to take care of her. And
oh yeah,
but I totally get it too. You're just like, I want to get myself right too.
Yeah.
But how can I allow my baby to be with my parents? Yeah.
Yes, and that's what ended up happening. My mom stayed with Bailey a lot and then later I talked to her, and after everything, and she's only came a few times, and she's like, well, when we're together, I didn't want to shatter you more, because she, when I'm with her, my guard gets down, and she's like, I didn't want you to be like that. So, and she had her own, enemy telling her lies in her own mind of how to protect me, So she stayed with Bailey pretty much. And then my dad would come while Chad was at work. So my dad would be there at 3 a.m. Be there. And when Chad came home it was like guard swap.
Yeah. The best support system
It was.
ever.
No,
Man.
it was, because I felt comfort of knowing, because I was also scared. I was very scared of like what I could do, because I truly believed before this all happened. I always try to look in other people's like view, even, you know, empathy or sympathy if I've never been there. But suicide was one I really struggled to sympathize with because I never understood. I always thought, how could you leave like your kids when I hear they had kids or married? And then I feel like Jesus is like, well, hey, let's have you go.
Yeah.
You went through it. Now I can empathize 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Because in that moment, you know, my dad talked to me. There's just so much to my story, but he talked to someone and they said that when you're suicidal, you are literally insane. Like, insane is your mind is absolutely not thinking reality. And that was so true. Because I 100% fully thought that Bailey should have another mom. I literally thought I was not meant to be her mom. Yeah. I literally thought Chad, like I sucked for him. Like I was not a good wife. And I also had a moment of, wow, I'm so sorry for all those, you know, people that did take their lives. And I've had people reach out to me, not even postpartum, but just in suicide in general, of like understanding loved ones who have done that. Because people say it's selfish. It is selfish, the outside looking in, but the inside looking out, like when you're in it, you're thinking you're selfless. Like you are truly thinking, I'm doing this for my kids.
Right.
Because I'm a burden on them. Even if you are 100% are not, you really think you are.
Yeah.
So it was good to have the people around me to make sure I didn't, you know, go through with it.
Yeah.
The doctor put me in, well, it was COVID time. So I didn't go to in therapy, but I was on Zoom for like 5 hours a day. Yeah. And that also wasn't helpful, talking about motherhood, because everyone there, I was the only mom with postpartum. Like every time someone spoke, I'm like, you have a reason to be suicidal. I don't. I'm over here like, I have this beautiful, healthy baby girl that maybe cries a little bit, but you lost your daughter. Like, there was a mom there who lost her daughter who was pregnant and lost them both. And then another mom who lost a daughter to cancer. Like, it was all these things of these moms were losing their children. And I'm over here like, I have a healthy child and I want to kill myself. It made me feel like worse.
Yeah.
Worse.
Yeah.
So then I just dove deeper in depression. It was not helpful.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, I mean, just in general, like us talking about, you know, you don't know until you know.
Yeah.
I mean, being a mom and then you talking about having suicidal thoughts, really. It's like you really don't know what someone with those kind of thoughts is going through. And so it just puts that perspective that, yes, you from the outside looking in, it may look super selfish, but you really have no idea how deep, dark that person's feeling, you know, to be able, anyways. Yeah.
Even with the faith, because I'm full believer, you know, Jesus Christ and everything. So I think people who don't have that, all they have is like the enemy talking to them. Because I really felt like it was the, what do they call, like the angel and like the devil on your shoulder, which made me feel more crazy. But, you know, I would really have this voice, not, you know, it's my own thoughts, but saying like, you're not meant to be a mom. You know, look at her. She's crying. She can't even. You're holding her and she's still crying. You're not meant, you know, you're not meant to be hers.
Yeah. All the intrusive thoughts.
Oh, so intrusive. But then I feel like I had the Holy Spirit telling me like, no, those are lies. Those are lies. And, but it was this back and forth of just, and then mental exhaustion of trying to keep my faith. You know, I even had a scripture on, I would put it on neon paper and I taped it all over the house. So I put it like when I woke up on every light switch, on her crib, on all my mirrors.
I love that. Yeah.
Coffee, literally everywhere. And I told myself, if I see it, I have to like read it. You know? So Chad was, I mean, I feel like that maybe that was the sign to That's something. I'm sitting here like, he knew that probably was it. He's probably like, what's all this around our house? She must be going through something. So and then we kept that on a lot longer, even when we got her back. But yeah.
So then if like you're almost like group therapy sessions then, right?
Yes.
So after that, since that wasn't really seeming to help, it was more comparative almost,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
a little bit counteractive. So then what did end up helping you?
So I knew that wasn't helping, but I had to finish it because I had to get letters to be able to not have to go to work. So I obviously wanted to keep my job and not be like, hey, it's psycho over here. I can't go into work. So I continued that. And that was, I feel like that was like a month, I think, that I was doing that.
That's kind of a long time to
it was
to do
a while.
something that wasn't
helpful. Yes.
for you.
So I tried to focus on like the strategies they were giving and everything. So I tried to do that. And then I was also seeing my therapist I've always seen, but it's not like, it wasn't a good connection for me. But I'm like, you know what? I have nothing else. And so I called my insurance and they're like, she's our specialist for postpartum depression. Wasn't good. It was just more of, how are you feeling? Like, oh, okay. I'm a person, I need a roadmap. Give me a roadmap. I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever it needs to be done. So that didn't help. So I'm like, babe, that's not helping either. So then I felt bad, more guilt. I couldn't find someone that specialized in like this type of postpartum depression. So I went to someone from LA, Zoomed with her. Very expensive, very expensive. And I signed a contract for a certain amount of weeks, which people were like, that wasn't right. But again, I was desperate.
Yeah.
That didn't really help. It was the same. How are you feeling?
Yeah.
Tell me about your feelings. I'm like, tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Make me better.
Give me some tools.
Yes.
I need something not just to talk about it. I can talk about it all day with anybody.
Exactly.
My husband or my, whatever. But like, I need some real tools here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then Jesus actually gave me my therapist in the very beginning of my journey. And I kept saying, no, no, I don't know her. I would look her up and I couldn't find much info on her. And I thought like, no. And then again, Chad he talked to a therapist at work and was like, try these. She was on that list. Again, I'm like, no, I need reviews, that was dumb. But anyways, so then the therapist in this big group therapy, she said, you know what? I do have a feeling this is not great for you. I have a friend that I want you to go see her. Guess who it was?
It was her.
It was her.
Oh my gosh.
It was her. And then, side note, I was also in a third mom group, by the way. That just clicked in my head that I was doing. So I was in therapy once a day at least. They were the same. They're like, I'm just tired and stuff, but not the deep level I was in.
Right.
So I was also doing that mom group on Zoom. But anyways, so then the suicidal group I was in, that therapist said, there's this lady I want you to meet and try. So I'm like, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
like,
call
I've
her.
had so many signs of seeing this lady, so I guess I should just try it.
Exactly.
I don't feel like those are mistakes either.
No, they're not.
It's there on purpose. She's showing up for a reason. So then you finally met with her.
I did. I called her. I was so nervous. And she was the first person that she was like, oh, hi, hello, talking. And she was the first person that wasn't doom and gloom. Yeah. Everyone, I'm like, oh my gosh. You know, that sad
You're like, just
voice.
talk to me like a normal person,
exactly.
please.
Yeah, it's like, sorry.
You're making me feel more crazy here.
Exactly.
Like, just talk to me normal. Yeah.
Like, I already know I'm going through this. Like, yeah, I know I want to kill myself. Okay, let's get over that. Yeah. Talk to me like, like I'm Stephanie.
Yes.
And she very much was. And I thought, you know what? She doesn't know. So I'm going to let her know. And then she's going to toss me aside. And I let her know. And she's like, okay, cool. It looks like I need to see you sooner then. Like, I have a group. Tonight, actually, come to group. And
you're like, oh gosh, that's soon.
I was like, am I ready for this? My goal was showering every day, but sometimes it didn't happen. Like, it was once a week kind of thing. Like, I was stanky. And Chad's like, you have to go. I'm like, but I need a shower. He's like, then shower. I'm like, okay. I'm like, will you brush my teeth for me? Like, so I went, and I'm so glad I did. He took me. He waited in the car for me the whole time in case I would have like a major like anxiety attack or something. And I walk in, and they were all laughing and having a jolly old time.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, oh, they don't know. They don't understand.
You're like, am
me.
I in the right place?
Exactly.
Here?
And like, here we go. Yes, I want joy, but like, I want people to relate to me. I want to relate to them. And I ended up knowing 2 girls.
Oh my gosh.
Initial thought, yay, hi. Devil thought, oh great, they're going to talk talk about you. They're going to text everyone, remember Steffi from high school? Like, this is what she's really about. And so then I immediately shut down, like, great. Like, now this is going to turn into gossip. But I swear I just had a nudge, like, you just need to open up. So I did calmly. At this point, I was still in the dissociation mode where I wasn't, it was hard. I kind of talked monotone, which freaked my family out, my friends out the worst. I really was like, I talk like this. Okay. It was weird. So I just shared a little. And then one girl in the back goes, yeah, I almost drove off a cliff. My mom saved me. Like, I almost killed myself. Another girl was like, oh, yeah, super suicidal over here. But they were all over it by this time. This was like a mom group of, let's continue motherhood together. Yeah. No one was in the thick of it. So they had been where I was. And then left and right. I was like, oh, wow. Like, they were all crazy like me, like full blown. I'm like, oh, I'm with my cuckoos. Like, this is great. But that was finding that group was helpful. I continued going. I saw my therapist one-on-one. A lot of the girls see her one-on-one, and then we come as a group once a week to just kind of talk. And then when we have new moms, it's great now because I'm like, no, you don't understand where I was. Like, I know you see this, but I get it. So the group, being open with my family was very helpful. I needed medicine. I went on medicine. I went back on medicine. I went on... I think it was Lexapro, I think. And then I finally did a hormone panel. And this was the very telltale, like, I wish I'd done right away. So the one advice I would give moms is fight and make your doctors take a blood panel of your hormones. Yeah. Because at this point, it's been a few months, and my estrogen was still like 0. I had none. Oh, my gosh. And when you research it, obviously I'm not a doctor at all, but... insomnia is one of the big ones. That's why I physically could not fall asleep. Yeah. I went 4 days with maybe an hour or 2 of sleep because my body would not allow me. Gosh. So my personal body didn't replenish any estrogen. So I had to go on extra estrogen every day, which helped me feel normal and made me feel better. So that was helpful. Obviously, my faith. Just praying constantly, reading the Bible. Yeah. And then a book. I read Brooke Shields' Down Came the Rain. Okay. That's very popular. It was back when postpartum was very taboo. Obviously, I'm not a actress, so I couldn't, go along with that. But she was the first one to tell me, wait, maybe I'm not the only one that feels this bad. Yeah. She made me feel more normal. Because before that, I was like, I'm the only one that's ever felt this way. Yeah. Yeah. Man, sorry. I had one thing I was going to say, too, and I forgot. I'm sorry. I also feel like I'm talking so much.
Oh, my gosh. No, not at all. No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you're doing great. No, you're doing great. Yeah. This is a paid message from Amelia Malloy's Angels. Did you know that 1 in 6 couples struggle with infertility, often facing emotional stress and the high cost of treatments? That's where Amelia Malloy's Angels, a nonprofit organization, steps in. Serving Kern County since 2022, Amelia Malloy's Angels provides family grants, comfort kits, and monthly support groups that bring hope, financial assistance, and spiritual care to couples who need it. If you would like to support families walking through infertility, you can become an Angel of Hope with a minimum monthly gift of $25, join their prayer team, or sponsor or host a monthly support group. Visit their website at www.ameliamalloysangels.com. Like, mom brain is such a thing, too. Like, it got so bad after having Brooks, and then after Kyle passed, it got even worse. Yeah. Absolutely. And, I'm like, I feel like it's finally getting a little bit better, but medication would probably be good for me too.
What? I'm like, wait, maybe not. Oops, bad.
Yeah. It's hard to get yourself to kind of shop around for therapists. Like, oh, one of them made you sign a contract when you didn't even know if you wanted, if you guys connected or whatever. It's like, I feel like it's expensive. You can come out and insurance doesn't cover it.
Nope.
At least mine doesn't. Well, a lot of insurance doesn't cover it.
Mine doesn't.
It's true, though. I mean, you have to kind of keep going and keep trying.
Because once you find someone you connect with, it's like, oh my gosh, it just makes a world of difference.
Yeah.
Like, makes a world of difference.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I still go to therapy too,
Yeah.
but I don't go as often
Mm-hmm.
as I used to, you know, but I still go every other month now, and I have it's a 2-hour session.
Oh,
but
that's
still,
great.
It's like,
oh, that's good.
yeah.
I'm like, when the time's up,
Well,
I'm like, can I stay longer?
I know. Mine's a little bit different. I do the hypnotherapy. Still do that.
Gosh.
Yeah. So
I would
met
love to
her,
try that.
Yeah, I met her 2 weeks after Kyle passed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
A
gosh.
friend, a family
Mm-hmm.
friend knew her and was like, oh yeah, you need to talk to her. And she's like, I need to book you right away. I had a
Yeah.
canceling, and I think you need to come
Oh.
into this appointment. And I was
Meant
like,
to be.
I had a canceling that same time
Yeah.
too. And I was like, okay, I'm there, you
Yeah.
know? And she's like, I never talk to anyone like this
Yeah.
early on.
Yeah.
Like, I usually wait till at least after like the funeral and stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of get your emotions together a little bit. She's like, but I just had to talk to you. And
Yeah.
so I've just had this great connection with her ever since. And so I'm so thankful and
Yeah.
I'm so lucky that I was able to like find someone and connect with really
Mm-hmm.
fast. But I just am such a firm believer of therapy. And if it doesn't feel right the first time around, like, keep trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely keep
Yeah.
trying. I was just so desperate. I literally
Yeah.
was like, I need help. I need someone to help me.
Yeah.
And so I kept going, but it did take a lot because then you have
Mhm.
to call, like you said, insurance, see if they'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they don't.
Mhm.
And then just calling random people, it takes a lot.
Finding someone out of town that's going
Mhm.
to work for you.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. On like
crazy,
Zoom, which I
yeah.
hated, but I mean,
Yeah. Let's see. So I guess we can even go and like talk about how you kind of started to feel normal again,
Yeah.
or how you decided that Bailey was going to come back home and
Yeah.
that.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, we haven't even
Yeah.
got to the best part.
Yes, the best part.
So it was still a rocky start. So my mom, which rightfully so, was, we can't keep you guys away. And I had this very weird connection in a way where I felt like she had passed, but she hadn't.
Mm-hmm.
So every time it was, I guess, overload of guilt.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
would not
I
walk
can see
into
that,
her
yeah.
room. Weird that I loved being in her room.
Mhm.
Before she was there, I was in her room every day, just
Mhm.
sitting,
Yeah.
dreaming, So I would, when I did go in her room one time, sob, fell on the ground, cried. My parents weren't sending me pictures because I was like, I can't handle it.
Mhm.
Sob, consumed with guilt. But my mom's like, we need to slowly somehow, whether it's just come over and hold her for like 10 minutes and go.
Mhm.
So it was this, I had the suicide, the anxiety, the depression. But I still, even though I'm like, okay, maybe don't want to kill myself. I'm not at the point where I'm like actively like, please God, like let a car hit me or,
Mhm.
let something happen, please.
Mhm.
I still had the feeling of I failed her and I wanted to run away. So I don't know if this follows with what we're talking about, but I had a glimpse of maybe moms that do run away maybe felt this way.
Mhm.
Like, because I know I have one of my best friends, her mom kind of has a situation like that.
Mhm.
And I'm like, maybe she went through postpartum and
Mhm.
felt that she didn't deserve her and did leave,
Mhm.
So I was just a mess.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh, you're
I'm
fine.
like, that tickle in my throat again.
So I thought that, and I thought, okay, I can't let that happen because I know I'm not going to leave this earth. I'm not going to take my own life. So I can't leave her. I can't do that because I don't want to do that to her. So we showed up and I was having a full blown panic attack the first time. Like, I don't know why. Chad had to like hold my face and he was like, take a breath, breathe, breathe, breathe. I went in the house. He went to go get her and I just went in my room and cried. It's so surreal. And then for the first few times I would go over, I'd hold her, and then I would get this anxiety, and I'd tighten up, and then she'd cry, and I'd be like, "See, I'm not meant to be a mom," and then I'd say, take her," and I'd go run in my old room that I grew up in, and would just cry. So that happened a few times, and I think it was waiting for the estrogen to hit my body. At this point, I'd started medicine, so waiting for the antidepressants to kick in, estrogen to kick in. Getting sleep back because
Being sleep deprived is like does so much on your body.
Yeah, I understand why it's torture. And for about 2 solid days, I'd wake up. I remember the first time I took the sleep medicine that helped. I slept for 14 hours. I woke
Oh my
up.
gosh.
I went out, still dissociation mode. Chad's trying to talk to me. I was like, can you just give me food? I ate my food. I said, I need another pill. I was like, just give me another pill. Took another pill and I slept some more, you know? So at this point, I was just still waiting. And then I think I did that for about a week, maybe 4 days, 5 days. And then finally, I just started to feel more like excited to steer, still very nervous. And then we took her like to Hart Park, first time out, and then the anxiety still hit. But I felt it was lifted. It wasn't like a boom, wow, I'm over it. It was a slow progression. So the first, I would say, progression was not feeling suicidal, and then being able to sleep, and then the anxiety there, but lessening where I wasn't like about to throw up every second of the day because of the, that unsettling jitterness inside.
Yes.
And then slowly when I would hold her, I wouldn't cry anymore. I'd be like, oh, wait, I think I can handle this. At this point, she's obviously on the bottle now. So it was just a little bit at a time. And then by this time, I was still going to my therapist and I was journaling. Journaling helped a lot to get my thoughts.
Yeah.
And not have a masked kind of view. Because how we mask in front of others. Knowing that telling myself, no one will ever see this. This is just between you. And when I wrote, I was talking to God. Like I'm writing, like I'm having a conversation with him. So in my mind, I'm like, no one's going to see this. This can be the ugly, gross, dirty version of me, which really helped. It was freeing.
Absolutely. It's your own type of therapy. Like you don't have to worry about holding anything back. And I've always talked about like journaling has always been a big thing for me too. And I'm like, when you feel like you can't talk to anybody, pull out your journal. Yeah. And seriously, write out all your thoughts. You feel this relief as if you did talk to someone.
Exactly.
It might sound crazy, but I'm telling you, it's always helped me.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. And I do agree with that. And I don't know if I want to open up those journals. Yeah. So I'm like, we may keep those hidden away. Yeah. I'm not.
I have sometimes I've gone back into my journals and, if you're in the right mindset, I guess. Absolutely. And you can read back on things and be like, wow, like, look how much I've grown. It's like, but I feel like to read them, you also do have to be in the right mindset. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I was writing these things. It might be a little bit emotional to read back because I've had moments like that where I'm just like, wow, I can't believe I felt like that, Yeah. But yeah, it's so therapeutic, whether you read it or not. You can just store it away if you don't want to read it, but it helps you in that moment.
Yeah. And what actually helped me too is I did write a book and I started journaling.
Okay.
And the journaling towards the end, I was like, this sounds like something maybe I can turn into. It didn't start off as a book. So I guess the deep down journaling came into an organized type of way. Okay. So that helped me a lot. I think that was a huge part of my not getting over it, because I still have moments of guilt where I see newborns and I'm like, I never enjoyed that stage. Like I feel like I'm losing something. Mourning kind of a stage with her that still hits me hard. So processing my emotions with writing it down for this helped tremendously, I think, in making it relatable in a way that has helped me, because that has been what she's going to be 4. So it was a 3-year process of writing everything down. So that actually helped a lot too. So another form of like creativity and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Was very helpful.
Yeah. I love journaling. I mean, I can't recommend it enough too. He's 4 years old now. Yeah. So how's life now?
Amazing. I'm I'm 100% meant to be her mom, and no one can ever take that role. Jesus gave her to me for a reason, and it's so beautiful. And I feel like to get that bond connection, so I know we didn't really talk how that came back, is I photographed her a lot. Like I did once I got her back. we did little, I dressed her up like she was going to the spa. Like really silly ones.
Oh, cute.
Like dress her up like a little stuffed animal and put her in the stuffed animals. And, and we just had because I'm taking pictures and then she's laughing and smiling and I'm like, oh, we're connecting. Like that was a way for us to connect other than just the, the cuddling and the typical things. That's something that we did together until her first birthday. It was our last like full blown shoot because I purchased a lot for him, and did it all. But now I always tell her, I'm like, you're my best friend. And I tell Chad that too. He's like, whatever. But it's great. Motherhood is the most beautiful, incredible thing. But I don't want to forget where I came from.
Right.
Because I want to be able to help everyone. I feel like it happened for a reason. Because I'm such a talker and I'm so... What's weird about how closed off I was in the beginning is I'm usually a person who doesn't have a filter and I don't really care what people think. So when I was so closed off, that was so weird for me. And so now I'm just blah, 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 blah. Yeah, like I want to share this story real quick just to prove, which I probably wasn't allowed to do, but a mom, because I'm a teacher. And so there was a mom, one of my kids' parents, it was parent-teacher conferences, I believe, or open house, I don't remember. And we're talking, we clicked. Everyone left and we were both laughing and talking and laughing and talking. And, she had asked me like, oh, you only have one daughter, what the heck? Are you going to make more? Because she had a lot of kids. I go, no, I had bad postpartum. I don't know. Like, that's still up in the air. And she's like, no, I did. I'm like, no, I did. And we were like joking, battling. And I finally was like, I wanted to kill myself. She's like, me too.
Oh my gosh.
And I go, what? And she's like, me too. I've never told anyone. You're the first person I told.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, what? And so we stayed outside the school and talked for like ever.
Oh my
and
gosh.
She's like, I didn't tell anyone. I didn't, and we connected on that. And we still we talk all the time, And so I think there was a purpose in that, knowing that I'm not going to be quiet about it. And my mom's not going to be quiet about it. Yeah. My mom sees someone that looks somewhat sad and there's a newborn. She walks straight up to him. Or do you feel sad? Do you need... I can't even tell you how many texts I've gotten. I'm like, okay, so I gave this other girl your number. She's going to call you. Her name's so-and-so. And I'll just get a call from a stranger and be like, yeah, you met my mom at... Where was she one time? Some restaurant. Like, you met my mom in the bathroom. Like,
my gosh.
And then we'll talk.
That's what this is about too. Like you coming to share your story, having other people not feel so alone. Maybe if you had a podcast to listen to,
100%,
you would have not felt so alone, And so, and then I love that your mom's just like, hey, if you need help,
she is.
She's I love
like,
that.
I know a girl.
Yeah,
and she always does.
Some people might be like, I'm fine,
Yeah, like, why would you?
Some people might be like, wait, no one would have ever even noticed or said something to me, And so I think that's a really nice thing for her to do, too.
Yep, I've talked to a lot of strangers on the phone that way.
Yeah.
So it's good right now. My goal is just, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And so I'm so grateful that you have this podcast so I can talk about it, and writing my story down. I'm like, no literary agent, Jori, send them my way.
Yeah.
But no, Bailey's great. She's our little dancing queen.
Oh my gosh, I love that. So as Bailey gets older, do you think you'll talk to her about your postpartum?
Yes. So at first, I'm glad you did bring that up because I swore to my parents, I said, this is going on. I don't ever want Bailey to know. I don't want any other human to know. Like, you better swear to secrecy. And I was terrified to have them watch her for many reasons. But the one is I never wanted it to get out. And now I'm like, no, I want her to know. Like, what if she goes through it? So in the book that I wrote, my opening is like, Dear Bailey Gray, read chapter 51. And it's like a love letter to her, like explaining where, like, how I was, my mindset, putting it in perspective for her, because I want her to read it and pretty much telling her, like, our bond now is unbreakable. Yeah. So don't let any of this hit you hard. It's a pretty good lengthy chapter just because I want her to make sure that she knows, because I don't want to hide it from her. Yeah. And I also want her to know that it's okay to feel broken. Perfectionism is in this world especially with social media and especially
Yeah.
with her going to be growing up into it hardcore. I want her to know that she doesn't need to be perfect, that depression's out there,
Yeah.
anxiety's out there. Talking about it will help. And I want her to see how I was so silent about it. I want her to see how it crumbled me. Because I also, you know, advice to other moms is speak up in the very beginning. Because I, you know, looking back through my therapy, where could it have changed? Well, right from the beginning, right from the get-go, when they said, "Are you ready?" I'm like, honestly, no. Is there something wrong with me? Like, I
Yeah.
don't feel ready. Is that normal? Just saying that.
Just asking the
Yeah.
questions. Yeah. Not
Does-
being afraid to ask.
Yes. Does it hurt? Like breastfeeding. Yes, this hurts a lot. Like, is there
Yeah.
any other way? Like, you know, I've heard there's colostrum in a bottle. Can we just give that to,
Yeah.
you know, not being scared of judgment, but being a
Right.
new mom, you're always scared of that because
Yeah. You can be told over and over again how it's supposed to look like, and you have no idea.
exactly.
And you're there,
exactly.
and it's different for every single person.
Yes. So I want her to know that, not
Yeah.
with motherhood, but also just in life, that life is hard. So, you know, and I'm also like writing her to tell her that, you know, one day we won't be here, but I also want her to keep her faith because she will hit some road bumps in her life.
Yeah.
So like also reminding her to like keep her eyes on Jesus and keep her eyes on her loved ones, and honesty is the best policy. Otherwise you're going to be your own prisoner. You're going to get locked into your own head.
Yeah.
And then that's when the enemy wants to attack you, that when he knows he has you, when there's no other avenue.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I'm hoping, and then this is my hope and prayer. I'm hoping she's not older. She's like, "Mom, wow, you're so embarrassing."
Oh my gosh.
Or like, "Wow, you didn't love me." I don't know.
no.
That's also the negative thoughts. But
Intrusive thoughts.
yeah,
It
intrusive
happens.
thoughts. Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could not even be in a depression. You still get intrusive thoughts regardless.
Yes, absolutely.
Hang on, I was gonna ask one more thing. Dang, I do this all the time. Oh yeah, your book.
Yes.
Did you publish it? Are you publishing
No.
it? What are your plans with
So
that?
I wanted to try the traditional route with it because I could, you know, go on Amazon and put it up, but I'm also putting it. I've been really praying a lot. I'm like, God, like it's your will, whatever you want to be done with it. So if I go the non-traditional route, I feel like it'll be rushed. And I feel like,
Yeah.
you know, I can get the word out there. So I am just at this point just trying to find a literary agent and kind of go that route.
Okay.
And it's a process learning about.
I'm like, I have no idea the process. So
Oh, it's
I'm
a
like,
process.
what's the plan?
I didn't realize. I was like, wow. Everyone that has a book out there. Oh my gosh, like
It's a lot of work.
it's a journey,
Yeah.
100%. And I have a very good friend. Her son, you know, is in that world. And he, you know, he's not a dad. He's none of that. So he looked at it in a different perspective, kind of like how books are set up. And I've rewritten it about 3 times. Like it's a process. But I am like, I'm very proud of it. I'm very excited about it.
That's very exciting.
It's not out there yet, but
I mean, regardless, that's super
soon.
exciting, and that's like an accomplishment to
Yes.
write a book. My gosh.
Yes, and even if it doesn't ever get published or anything, like the original purpose of it became journaling to get my emotions out. And then as I started writing, I was like, wait, no, I want to write this to Bailey. You know, I want this to be Bailey's like manual, I guess you can say, of what did mom do when she was through this, because, you know, I don't want to go back to the negative, but one thing I forgot to talk about is I've always had this doom and gloom that I'd pass away. I don't know why. So even during my pregnancy, when I was totally happy, I was totally fine, my pregnancy was great, no complaints, I would take videos of myself because I had this little voice in my head like, you're not going to make it. Like,
Yeah.
so I recorded like people saying hi to her and me. I'm like, it's Thanksgiving, you know, it's Christmas. It's, these are my fears. And I did it all through the hospital too. So that still is kind of with me. That's something I'm still working through. So that's why I wanted to write it all down too.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a roadmap for her. So yeah, it's
I love
we'll
that
see.
though.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's super cool.
Thank you.
I guess before we end, we usually end with like piece of advice to maybe another mother going through postpartum. Is there anything that you would want to tell them?
Absolutely. Write me on Instagram. I'll talk
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
I will make you feel less crazy, not alone. Reach out to me always. Some people feel like, you know, I've gone to people in the park, other moms, and try to bring it up. And I'm like, no, here, literally call me. Here's my number.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you. I feel like this was the mission that, you know, God put me on was
Yeah.
to just be in the trenches, come out, and I don't want another mom to take their life. I know that there's huge, like we said, spectrum of postpartum depression. You still could be very depressed and not be suicidal. You know it.
Yeah.
But one fear I have is I've heard of moms, like when I was going through it after I came out, that I committed suicide because of it. I had a family friend say that their friend's sister, you know, it was always removed, but committed suicide, postpartum depression. You know what I mean? And that like brings me fire. So one, reach out to me. Two, to just be honest, to find someone that you have around you. And if you don't have someone around you, then, you know, find a therapist, find Jesus. You know, just talking, I think, is the number one thing that helped me the most. Because like you said, we were talking about being a prisoner in your own mind, and that's what's going to happen. So open up and shatter that silence.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yes. But yeah, thank you for coming on and just shedding light on, what can happen after postpartum.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here, and we'll still chat after.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, that was really good. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Shattered Silence. As always, don't forget to follow us on all of our socials on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. You can watch full episodes on YouTube, or you can listen in on Apple Podcast or Spotify. I do that every time. Little card throw.